Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of TNT Creations. It's been a little while, and the reason for that is with all the natural disasters that are going on in the world, I had to take a little bit of time with the line of work that me and Tucker are in as electrical linemen. I got called down to go help with Hurricane Helene down in South Carolina. Our hearts go out to everybody, Florida, North and South Carolina, everyone in the midst that got hit with Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. There was a lot of damage down there. It was the first natural disaster I've ever worked, and it was a lot to take in, but I'm very honored that I did get to go down there and help restore the power to some of South Carolina before we got pulled away to come back home. So our hearts go out to you guys. I hope that it'll take a little while, but I hope that you can get back to a normal life if you are living in those states and in that region. But back to our day-to-day working process. The 56 needs to be finished. It's sat its cozy little life in the garage long enough. It needs to be out on the road, tearing up some streets, breaking down, and doing the good things. So we've got a whole bunch of parts we're going to throw at this thing to hopefully make it a little more roadworthy and safe, because we have brake parts if they work. But enough with the chit chat. It's been too long since I've turned a wrench on something that's old and cool, so we're going to jump straight away right into it with the fun stuff. Just giving you guys a quick little update here as we go throughout the car. This was the passenger side header. We had some serious exhaust leaks, but this one really isn't too bad. I don't know what they're doing here. That went up to the car, but I know it's to help get hotter air up there for the choke and all of that kind of stuff. But the old girl had been beat and bashed quite a bit, as you can hear the gravel trickle out of her. But that wasn't the bad one. We thought this was the bad one. All the exhaust leaks, but this one, the driver's side header,
The one that was dragging the ground.
First, somebody had taken it, and I mean just walloped this thing to get it in there. Bad. This is our alternator bracket that they decided to weld to the header. We're going to have to think of something and do something a little bit different there. But I mean, there's cracks all along this thing. And then that. That's bad. And in case you were wondering, that is not how that header is supposed to be shaped. Not at all. It's supposed to look similar to this. And this one is just bent all over the place. This 90-degree bend down here is bent way too sharp. It's almost kinking off the pipes. So that'll be a big change. Just getting a little bit better heads on the thing. And in that time, we've taken out the old radiator. We've put in the new thermostat. Old fuel pumps out.
New temp sender.
New temp sender. The new fuel pump that actually works will be going into the car. Oh, let's show them the radiator. This radiator, we patched this radiator together just to see if the car would actually make heat cycles, but everywhere you see this gasket maker was holes and cracks, and I mean the bottom of it, it was just ridiculously bad. Could maybe hold a full tank of water for about 30 minutes. When it comes to the parts that we're going to put back on this thing, we're broke. We have no money. So they're the cheapest things you can find. We're not sponsored by anybody. We probably will never be. But these headers, I actually like them. Now, this one's all scuffed up because I've already test fitted it in the car. But they seem to be good quality. It's actually a pretty thick flange, which usually on your cheap headers you got a real thin flange and a warp and everything like that. But this is actually a thick flanged header. Now, not being welded all the way around I don't like. But
Looks like you can get a socket on most of them though.
yeah,
Instead
of
of
the
eighth turn with a wrench.
which is why I hate Chevy headers. But the headers actually don't seem like too bad a quality for the price, and we got those from Flowmaster.
Jegs.
Jegs, that's right. Just online, cheapest that Jegs had, and they actually seem pretty good. The aluminum radiator, I've done it for years. I haven't had a problem yet. But if you go on Amazon and you just look up aluminum radiator for your vehicle, this one was what, 130 bucks?
Something like that, yeah.
And they're actually pretty decent quality. They don't look bad, and I haven't had one leak yet. Now maybe it's just because aluminum radiators are becoming more of a thing, but I remember the first aluminum radiator I ever bought for my orange truck, my 79 Ford, before I hit a deer. That was like a $450 4-core aluminum radiator. And when I hit the deer and I replaced it, it was like 120 bucks. So find yourself some cheap,
And
good parts.
this one you find it when the ones that fit your vehicle. This one already had the bracketry and everything on it, so it can just bolt right back in
Yep.
to the old spots.
And the center outlet at the top instead of off to the side, just like the 56 had. So you can actually find some pretty good cheap parts. And that's, I know we buy cheaper parts, but we don't have the money to just go buy $400, $500 radiators. And as much as I love headers, I love out of the frame headers. Those are the coolest things in the world to me. That's why I put them on my truck. But hopefully all these parts will bolt right in, not give us any problems. We can get the engine entirely wrapped up. The only thing we're missing is a 1-wire alternator because the generator's bad. And then we can start this thing up again and work on actually pulling fuel from the factory tank to the engine.
Little update. Both passenger and driver side wheel cylinders are changed, along with the brake pads. We really didn't want to do that, but they were basically worn down to metal on both sides, so it's fun. We're gonna have to come up with something with the alternator here. We need another piece of flat strap or something coming over so we can bolt it in, and that'll be done.
But back to the good stuff, or the fun stuff. Remember how I was talking about a cheap radiator? Well, you get what you pay for. Fit in here good. Everything was fine. Training cooler line, the fittings out of the old radiator were too big compared to this one. Not a big deal though. Just drilled and tapped it out for the right size, and now it works great.
And it's aluminum, so it's a lot easier to drill and tap.
Yep, so that was fine. You know, don't be afraid to drill into a new part, even though it's new, to make it right and make it fit your needs. Spark plug wires, everything's back in. Spark plugs, new. Fuel pump, headers are on, glass packs are back on, everything is in. Got our filter in so that way we can see our fuel. We still have to cut in a filter back somewhere on the frame before the pump, clean out the gas tank a little bit, but for now we're going to call it just a little bit of a break. Going to go inside, eat some good dinner, then we'll be right back out here finishing up all of the little tedious things.
Well, we're done eating. A couple hours later.
We really thought this tank was empty, but we jacked the car up and can you hear it?
I hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
It sounds like there's a lot of crap in there. Now this bucket's right at the right height for me to get really splashed with stuff. How long is this bolt?
You want to use your wrench now?
Yeah, now I'm getting scared. I'm gonna get freaking soaked. Okay. This is not gonna go well.
Be quick.
What if it starts overfilling the bucket?
Scream, yell.
There is going to be a lot of crud in that.
A little stream. Well, looks like we're going to be sitting here a while and getting the pick and
yeah, that stinks.
Poking.
Yeah, I might need a pick. That is... Oh, this is not good.
You want to use that for your wood deck you're going to build?
Yeah. I don't even, it smells like deck stain. Well, after going through draining the tank and properly cleaning it, we're going to put 6 gallons of gas in. And for this mixture, it's calling for all of it. It's a bit heavy, but there still could be some remaining gunk in the tank or the lines. So, I mean, this was only about 3/4 bottle. And if anyone has ever figured out how to open up a Marvel Mystery Fluid after you've closed it yourself, let us know. Because apparently we're too dumb to do it, or we just can't. So, now we're going to dump our 6 gallons of fuel in. That's what came out of that tank. Pretty bad. No chunks or floaties, really. Just
dark.
Old gas. Oh my goodness. After I spill 3 gallons of this, we're going to be ready to hopefully start the car.
Mm-hmm. Right on the impact. That's okay.
This is really a 2-person deal.
Well, we both fill the car up with gas.
All right.
We're going to put you in a brief waiting, and then we'll get the car started.
We need a different funnel. Tank's all full. I think we're ready to go. As far as I know. No.
Filled the bowl up before we started.
Yeah. Trying to get the... Oh, that was good on it. Bowl filled beforehand. I know this looks bad. Like the stuff we just took out of the tank, but it's from the boat tank and it's just gas mixed with Marvel Mystery Fluid. So it might look a little yucky there too, but hopefully it's just the Marvel Mystery Fluid. We don't have the fan hooked up because our alternator's not there. So we're not going to be able to run it for long, but we just want to hear it run, fire off, make sure we covered all of our bases. And it's like 9 o'clock at night and I have neighbors, so we're going to try not to be too bad. But
All the way back was parked, right?
I believe so.
We'll find out. Ready?
I think so.
Oh, we're open header.
No, we're not. I bolted the collectors on.
Oh, good job.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep. Not a lick of fuel yet.
I didn't figure.
Bowl should be full enough. I just tried kicking it off high idle to give it more time. Go again. What?
I said be patient.
Well, I don't want to be too patient because we don't have a water pump. Oh, what is that?
I thought maybe that was just the header.
Firewall started smoking on us.
It's probably that ballast or whatever that is.
It was right above it, I think. Like right above it. Yeah. Is it hot? It was like right here is where it looked like it was smoking from. Nothing's hot.
Hook it back up.
Maybe it was just coming up from somewhere else. Is the key still on? It's definitely pulling from somewhere. See it smoking?
It's coming from that ballast on the back side of it.
Get off of there!
Well, that could be a possibility of shutting us down.
And we don't have any fuel yet. That's no bueno.
Well, it is a new day, different weekend. We got the ballast resistor, we got it replaced. And we're going to blow some air in this line that comes from the tank because we weren't getting fuel up to the filter yet. And we kind of have a feeling there might be something in the lines. So we're just gonna blow some air through it and make sure that box is checked off.
Don't forget to open your gas cap. Vent it. Because if you do get air through it, and then you pull this out, fuel's gonna come squirting at you. Learned that the hard way on the Charger. So I can keep it closed. Okay. You know what that was?
I would say we definitely have something in the line.
That's no bueno.
Hopefully it's not a kink or something somewhere.
When I was putting the exhaust back on this thing, I looked at the lines. They seemed fine. I might have to put a hose clamp on this to hold it in place. I'm gonna try again. See if I can hold it there. Like it's stopping, like right there. This is vacuum line, and I can see it bulge. Uh-oh.
Little update here. Alternator bracket is made. Getting it primed and painted right now. It will just go from that bottom bolt down there across to the bottom hole of the alternator, and you'll still be able to use your factory deal here to tighten and loosen the belt. And the car is jacked up for a couple of reasons. This is the main one. The tank is out.
Bit ourselves in the butt. The line is clear to the tank. Clean, clear, brake clean, PB through it, looking good. But I cannot get air in or out of the tank. So, currently taking the pickup out of the tank and having some trouble from these 5 little bolts. It's some weird eclipse looking, I don't know. But we don't have it. And of course, they're stripping. So, not a big deal, but we're gonna get these out of here, see what the bottom of this pickup tube looks like. We were really just running on a hope that it would be okay, but go figure from what we pulled out of the tank. It's not. sit here and quarter turn my life away until this gets done.
And then it'll probably get self-tappers back in it.
I mean, the threads are good, so we just need something that has that thread and maybe an actual bolt head, not whatever this is. Surprisingly enough, I figured out why a fuel gauge doesn't work. It's a bummer. Everything else looks really good though. You know, the pickup tube doesn't have any black tar or crud. Okay, this is bad. That was the filter tube, whatever. I mean, the sock. I mean, look at that. That is black tar sitting in there. Our tube's full. The float probably does nothing. Yep. So it's pretty dirty. The inside of the tank has just a thin layer of black, just tar on the bottom. And so we're gonna clean this up really good. Go buy another sock. Clean the tank really good. And put everything back together and see if we got fuel flow. But we're gonna have a little bit of time and cleanup because this is, boy, this is bad. Back here, ready to rock and roll, we hope. Tucker got the alternator bracket down. We got an alternator in place, just a one wire, as you can tell. Just a little one wire alternator, nothing fancy. Fuel tank was a no-go. You guys seen that. We tried forever to clean that thing up. Just a waste of time. Just too far gone. I mean, we started shining a flashlight in there and it looked like you could maybe see some daylight where it was maybe starting to get real thin. The metal was getting thin. Not only that, that black tar stuff was not coming out of there. So we got a fuel tank ordered, but you know, two guys hand tools and this little itty bitty thing, we don't plan for this kind of stuff. We just fly by the seat of our pants. So we got a 5-gallon jug or a 5-gallon bucket with fuel and a fuel filter under the car to make sure that our pump is going to work and that the car is going to do everything. We've got a radiator on it. We've got our new temp sender. The belt's hooked up. Water pump's going to be spinning. So this thing ought to fire up, get good fuel, and everything should be working as it is. As you guys seen there, we got a new ballast resistor in place. So the only thing we're missing is a fuel tank, which we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to make sure the car still, everything else still works as it should. So I'm probably going to have to sit here and bottle feed it for a minute while Tucker starts it. Now we're just going to let her purr, let her idle, let her run. We still haven't really got to hear the new headers with the exhaust and, you know, see everything. We heard it there for a split second, but nothing too crazy. So, yep, go for it.
Blinker's on.
Oh, okay.
Yep, my eyes are watering.
The old girl's rings still need to come around or something.
Or it's the Marvel Mystery Fluid.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, there still is Marvel Mystery Fluid in that. Oh, we're getting some heat into it now. That thermostat opened. Yeah, radiator's getting warm. Oh, that's cool. I'm watching the gauge fall. That gauge is slowly falling down. What did it go down to?
Right above the center.
It's holding solid, okay. That's not bad. Oh yeah, she's definitely hot now. Header's quit smoking. Still running nice. Well, it's all magically done. While you guys were taking a nap, watching this horrible show. We put in the fuel tank. New pickup and everything. Old girl picks up fuel on her own. It's perfect. Acts just like she should. We also decided to go through there with what we had, being a shop vac and a couple dirty, greasy red rags. We decided to clean the interior. Shot back out the trunk the best that we could just to clean this thing out. So it's as good as it is ever going to be for now. But this may be the last time you see the 56. It may not be. We don't know for sure. But if you're interested in a 1956 Chevy Bel Air with a 265 that runs oh so sweet, be sure to let us know. But right now, we're going to say adios, and we're going to do our favorite part of this whole ordeal, which is take this grocery getter to go get some milk. Maybe whole this time. A whole person. Maybe chocolate.